In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Illustrator to draw 3 different hearts and put different effects on them. But before we get started, I want to talk to you about the difference between Photoshop and Illustrator. If I take the magnifying glass and I magnify the edge of this heart, you can see that it's perfectly smooth. If I do the same thing in Photoshop, magnify the edge, you can see that it has these little jagged pixels showing. Photoshop images are made from pixels. That's very good for photographs, but it's not very good for graphic design. So you use Illustrator if you're going to make things like logos for businesses or letters for advertising. Vectors can be enlarged to any size and they will never show any pixels or degradation of quality. So let's go ahead and take a look at our project. So I'm going to go to File, New, and I'm going to call this Heart and put my name on it. And choose letter size, and I think instead of using vertical, I'm going to choose the horizontal format and then click OK. To draw the heart, we're going to use the pen tool. The pen tool can be a little frustrating to get used to in the beginning, but the pen tool is one of the essential tools that's used all the time in Illustrator, so it's a good idea to become familiar with it. The pen tool is right here. Notice that when I click and hold on it, there are lots of different types of pen tools. For now, we're going to use just the one on the top. So on my canvas, I'm going to click and hold down the mouse and drag off and to the left. So this little point right here is called an anchor point. This end and this end are handles. So we haven't really drawn anything yet until we get another anchor point drawn on here. You'll notice this green line that's popping up when my cursor is aligned directly across from this first anchor point. The reason that I can see that is because under View I have Smart Guides turned on. So you might want to turn on Smart Guides so that you can draw your heart more accurately. So now what I'm going to do is go over here to the center and click and drag down. So now I have this curve. That's the top part of the heart. If I hold down Alt, I can notice the cursor changes. I can grab this little handle and I'm going to drag it up to the top. This creates a pivot point. So I am now making the curve going the opposite direction. So I'm going to draw the other part of the heart somewhere over here. I can see because of the green line that this anchor point is aligned with the other 2 anchor points. So I'm going to estimate approximately the right spot and click and drag down. Down here at the bottom of the heart, I'm just going to click because I just need a straight line. So one click, don't drag. Now to stop the heart, I have to touch the end point and the beginning point. So you can see that this little pen tool with a little circle shows up when I'm touching the beginning point. So I'm going to click and drag to complete that. Now that this is finished, I can switch to the direct selection tool, which is the white arrow, and I can grab any of these handles and I can manipulate them, and I can change the heart around, or I can drag just on the path itself, and I can, let me Control Z to undo. I can move all of these things around to different places where I want them. So if I want my heart to be not so perfect and slightly, maybe a little more playful and funky, maybe I'm going to make the heart like that. All right, so adjust your heart however you want, then use the selection tool, which is the black arrow, and click on it, Now we're just going to add some basic color. There's multiple ways to add color. One fast way is to click on this box up here at the top. This is the fill color. So I'm just going to choose this magenta color. Then this is the stroke. The stroke is the outline. Right now the stroke is on black. I'll just leave it black, but I will change the size of it, let's say to size 8. Alright, so here's my heart. I'm going to shrink it a little bit because I want to put some more copies of it on here. So I'm just going to grab the corner and make it a little bit smaller. To copy this with the selection tool, this must be selected. Hold down Alt, click and drag one copy. Hold down Alt, click and drag another copy. Alright, so for this middle heart right here, we're going to put a gradient on it. So to do that, we're going to go, again, there's multiple ways to do it. We can open swatches and choose gradient here, or we could open this and choose the gradient here. Either way. So you'll notice that the default colors for the gradient are white to black, but you can very easily change that. I'm going to pop open the gradient panel over here on the side, and where it's white, this little box here, I'm going to double click that, and I will maybe change it to blue. Or you can click this little palette if you'd rather use the sliders and change the color this way, whichever way you feel more comfortable with. Alright, so I'm going to click back up here and get the black one, double click it, and I'll change this one to yellow, and that looks pretty nice. But now I want to change this black line to something else. So first of all, let's see, I'll choose a different color for it, maybe this purple color. Now I don't just want a straight line, I want something with a little more pizzazz to it. So what I'm going to do is open up the brushes panel, and I'm going to click this menu right here and go to Open Brush Library. I'm going to choose the artistic brushes, and under artistic, choose whichever one you want. I'm going to choose ink. So here's my choices. So I'm just going to click on some of these and see what different effects they have. So this is simulating different types of paint or ink brushes that you could use for this project. And I think I kind of like that one. So I'm going to go ahead and stop right there. Now for my last heart, I'm going to go ahead and click this. I'm going to add something called a graphic style. Graphic styles are, let me close some of these so we can see what we're doing, is under the appearance panel, which is this little dot right here. So here's graphic style. I'm going to pull that off so we can take a look at it. Again, I'm going to open the menu on the side and go to Open Graphic Style Library, and I'll choose scribble effects. Some other interesting ones are artistic effects. Some of these don't really do very much for this application, so if you choose one and it doesn't look good, just go back and choose a different effect. So scribble effects. So I can click on these different effects and see what happens, and then when I find one that I like that one looks pretty good, I'll just stop right there. So those are this is my finished assignment. I will put this on my my website so that well, you should put yours on your website so that you can get credit for it. Make sure you save it. That's it for now.